But the first question I ask everybody when they come in here is, what are your first memories of falling in love with music? Whether a time, a place, a moment, a record, what connected you to music?
Yeah, so my dad was a radio producer for years and years and years. So I mean, I just grew up surrounded by it.
Hmm.
Um, Always radio drive. I mean, driving, listening to radio with my dad, like that's what I remember. And it's so like, back then it was like so whatever, and I liked music, but like now thinking back on that stuff, when I listen to Motown, it's just more than Motown. It's like memories with my dad, and memories just driving with the family. And so like that's where I fell in love with music. And then going to concerts, I mean, later down the road, it's just like concerts, that's my church right there. So that's
Hmm.
everything. That's my happy place. And that's a whole other conversation of where the concert realm has been going lately and how there's so much less of them and all of that stuff. But yeah, I would say, the earliest memories, that's driving with my dad.
Oh, and like so many have said that, and that's myself too. Like I remember
Mhm.
driving with my mom in the car and or something in like the living room, like their record or like the CD player, whatever it was. Like now I'm dating myself that it's CD player. But like it's one of those things of like that's it. And like I agree with you at concerts. I'm like I'll always say like I'm going to church. Like when I go
Mhm.
to a show, I go anywhere. And originally from Illinois and then moving here to Jersey, it was like wow, now I get to be to these places like the Stone Pony and all these like iconic
Yes.
places that I've heard of. And now I get to like live 30 minutes from that, which is insane to think
Hmm.
about and experience that. I can only imagine like being in kind of this area too with music because there's so much history.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I just remember even like late teens, like 19, 20 years old, I would just walk around the city with some friends and
Yeah.
find a venue. There's loud music. Let's walk in. They'd be like, who are you here to see? And I'm like, who has the least amount of tickets sold? That's what I'm
Hmm.
here to see. We just watch it. And I mean, that was like everything. It's not like it needed to be this fandom. It's like, let's just see live music.
Yeah, and that's the thing I tell everybody too, because people will be like, oh, if they see like Blink-182 or any of these old
Hmm.
like by oh, there I go, dating myself, old bands, but they are, and like see them in old videos of like these shows that were 20 people, 50 people in a room.
Hmm.
I want to be that. You can be that. Go see that. Like sometimes I always try to
But
see any bands that come on here or anything because I'm like you have to support locally and where was it? I think it was the Berkeley Hotel in Asbury started doing like outdoor things. And I
okay.
went to it and I was like, all right, great. This is a band I had on. And there were like 50 people, which I know like that doesn't sound bad, but I was like, man, I remember like when I was younger, like this is what we did on a Saturday night. This is what we would do. And I don't see it as much sometimes. And it's like,
Right.
we got to get back to that. Support those local bands and scene. And you can see them all over TikTok, Instagram. People promote, people have shows.
Big time. I mean, it really is. We're living in such a pay to play, like times, and it's sad. It's like, oh, can we play this venue? Sure. How many people you bring? It's like, well, we're a brand new band. Nobody knows us yet. And they're like, good luck. And
Hmm.
then, when you're playing a small place and they want you to bring in 75, 100 people, well, then you can go play the Stone Pony. Like, we don't need your dingy little bar.
Right.
So it's just, I always say the business model is so messed up where at this point, it's like, why don't you worry about being a good venue that's known for good music? And then, and live on more than just, some no-name band bringing in friends and family, because that's not a sustainable business model.
No. And that's the thing. And I always tell people too, but whether it's starting a band or like when I did this, it was like
Mhm.
your audience is not your friends and family, which sucks to hear, but it's like you've got to build
Oh, it
that.
is the truth.
It
It
is
is the truth.
hard. Like the majority of the people that I see whenever I do like a new episode or even like, oh, I'm gonna hop on with so and so, it's like, yeah, like my friends and family, like if they're listening to this or watching this, whatever, I don't care. But they're
Right.
one of those people that it just isn't. And it's in this day and age, you have the social media presence you have to have. So like here you
Mhm.
are having this band, Only Blue, that's debuting tomorrow, like by the time this
Yeah.
is out. About like, how does that feel now entering that space of like, okay, now my band's going to be doing this in 2025 where it's hard.
So it really is. I mean, every musician in this band has been doing this for so long. I've had my own solo stuff for so long.
Mhm.
And this, when the project started was just me going like, one more time, I've got stuff to say. I'm going to put it out there. Let's see what happens with it. And then I just started playing it for some people. Dave, my guitarist and producer, I mean, he was the one that just this totally took another turn once he got involved. Because I just went there saying, like, I want to record some vocals because I need it. It's so hard to do it all yourself. So he
Hmm.
had a studio. I was like, can I track my vocals by you? Just because it's so hard, recording, pressing play, doing it all yourself. And then he was like, as the conversation went on and went on, he was like, I kind of want to produce this one track. And I was like, okay. I mean, I have been. I don't know if betrayed's the right word, but I've tried so many producers in the past. Like it
Hmm.
just never went anywhere. So I was like, I guess what do I have to lose? And what he came back with was so unreal. That's when the project really started. So it's been a year since that happened. So as far as, yes, it's a new band, but we've all cut our teeth and, we really have been all as individual musicians, been around for so long that it's like it's not so much about learning how to be a live musician. It's more about playing the game of today. Like, we don't need to worry about if we got picked up tomorrow and said, you have to play Madison Square Garden tomorrow. As musicians and as performers, it's like, let's go. We're
Hmm.
not worried. Like, we need to learn how to play the stage.
Right.
We've all been there. We've done that. So now it's like, let's start this new band. Let's play the game. And it's changing every day. So, as far
Yeah.
as what is it like? What it's like is not knowing what's next. There is no game plan. And even ChatGPT's answer for what you should do next changes on the daily. So
Hmm.
um it's exciting just to see where it goes and if we can make it pop off. And no matter what, at the end of the day, this is the first time I could say with my own music that like I'm so proud of what people are about to hear with this. It's like this now I've got songs that are like these deserve to be heard.
No, and they do, and even like to go back to like, yes, you are a musician because like going back and I'm like, all right, what can I find? What can I find right now? There's like not much, but obviously Excel Entertainment you own, and I watched some of those videos of what you do there with the DJ band hybrid and everything,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, this is a performer. Like, yes, I know I've
Thank you.
yet to hear this band or see this band, and I only heard what you were able to send, which is amazing, like this debut single.
Thank you.
But right away, it was like, yeah, this you should be up there and doing that, like just based off of what I saw alone in the Instagrams and stuff I could find. So, yeah, no, this does need to be out there.
I mean, I appreciate the whole reason Excel. So, just for anyone listening,
Yeah.
Excel Entertainment, we perform at weddings, corporate events, things like that. And my whole thing was like, if I'm not good enough to play Madison Square Garden, I'm going to bring the concert to me. Like, I'm going to
Hmm.
create the concert. So that's what I started doing with these events, and it was less about what people, what everyone else was doing. It was, I'm going to create a concert. And I just keep doing that every year. And now we've bought our own staging. So we're bringing the concert. And so that was always the goal. It's like, if we're not good enough to do this, then I'm going to bring that to me. And then in the process of all this is how I've met all of the musicians. My guitarist, Dave, that's how I met Dave through the company. I brought him on as a sound engineer. So, for Excel, and then it just turned into all of this. So as I really appreciate what you're saying as being performers, but yeah, it's kind of found its way full circle back into what we're doing now.
And I always feel like no matter what in life, at least for me too, like if you're meant to do something or like even if you took a break or you didn't do something, you always go back to that no matter what. I mean, that's like me in my
Absolutely.
life. For a long time, I was doing music stuff and I was in Chicago. And then when I moved here, I was like, oh, I don't know anybody. I don't do that. Like, how do you meet like friends in your 30s? I don't know what to do. And then when I got back to it, it was like, yeah, it was like riding a bike. Yeah, I'm supposed to get back into this. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I feel like listening to this, it's like, yeah. I mean, when I heard it, I immediately was like, the beginning of the song, Rather See Red, it was like, yeah, I could see this at like the Louder Than Life festival or like played, whether it was on the radio or something, and I'm turning it on and you're in your car. Like, I can see so many people in my life that like this is just like a rock track there, and rock
Yeah, I
music
love
is
that.
having such a moment right now, which I love because I feel for so long like rock music kind of, and now everyone's like, oh, elder emos were the emo music and this and that, which I love too. I'm a big part of that, but it's like just rock music in general, there's nothing like it. So it's like now you have this, and I want to know like what were some of the inspirations for Rather See Red, because I'm like I'm trying to hear them in here, but it's just like I'm just bombarded with like 90s alt rock in my
Right.
ears right now.
So, I mean, that's a yeah, that is so all over the place because
Yeah.
personally, on my own personal music, I mean, I'm such a big fan of everything where it's like I just saw My Chemical Romance, and the last concert I saw before that was Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
And the
wow.
last, so like, I mean, I'm talking about my inspirations personally, just going from everything from like Billy Joel, Prince, Foo Fighters are huge. So, I mean, like,
Hmm.
in this project specifically, it's, I would say Foo Fighters are like what's really going to be coming out the most.
Yeah.
But all the other inspirations are absolutely just making their way in there. Now Dave, the producer, things started taking the other way. He's the guitarist in Face Yourself. He's a metalhead. So
Hmm.
bringing in that inspiration into what I'm doing finally gave this stuff like some direction. I mean, these songs, which one day on like, a one time like Instagram Live, people will get to hear these original demos. And my God, it's like a different world. I mean, some of these lead guitar lines were originally horn lines. So
Hmm.
that's where I'm coming from musically, the songwriting aspect, all the artists I just mentioned, but always still with that rock edge. And then Dave just kind of glued it all together and turned it into what you guys are about to hear, or when this is out, already hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense too. I love when there's other aspects of different musicians in the band pulling from that because you can hear
Mhm.
that. I'm like, yeah, there was some edge in here. And it's like, that's for me too. I'm all over the place. That's amazing you saw my chem. That was the MetLife show, right?
I went to Philly because I was working the day of the MetLife show.
Oh, oh
So
yeah. Oh, I wanted to go to that so bad. I was like, I want to
it
go
was
see
awesome.
this. I want to experience this. But like tickets like didn't come down enough. And I'm like now kicking myself because I'm like, I should have
No,
experienced that.
I know. I mean,
But
for me, it
yeah.
was also special because me and my sister had tickets to the original Black Parade tour. All right,
Oh
back in
wow.
whenever that was.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she couldn't go. She like couldn't, she missed it out. And then I ended up going by myself. So to take my sister to this one and see the full album, I mean, yeah, the show was awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that also too with this with Only Blue, a question we always ask too, because our podcast is the intersection of music and mental health.
Yeah.
And music is such a catharsis. I know for me listening, I don't play music. I've tried. I don't know what it is. I can't do it. But one of those things of how is this band and creating it and songwriting been a catharsis to your mental health?
Yeah. It's the outlet. I mean, that's when there's always this like, there's this sweet spot of, uh, there's this sweet spot of like getting everything done that you can do, and then also, I guess, depression. All right. And you
Mhm.
need to be right up to that, like, I can't do it right before you're immobile and can't do anything is just that sweet spot of creativity where it's like you're still able to function. Okay. And you can just write the best stuff and just get it out there. So, like, whenever I go into these songwriting things, that's where it comes from. So, yes, it's very cathartic. You just get all this stuff out. And I mean, for pretty much, if you're alive in 2025, there's plenty of stuff to be pissed off and upset about and depressed about. I mean,
Yeah.
we're living in the craziest of times. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know how, whatever you want to get on the podcast, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, between, we could just say politics alone, it's
Yeah.
just, and these set of songs coming out, I mean, it's very much burn it to the ground. Like
Hmm.
that's what, they're so like everyone is so, polarized, left, right, and we all know this. But
Yeah.
the biggest thing is like if you slow down for 1 second, you ask somebody on the left, well, is our government okay right now? They're going to say obviously not because,
Yeah.
the right is in charge. But if you go to someone on the right, they're going to be like, screw the left, but is our government perfect? They're like, no.
Yeah.
So if neither side agrees that the government is perfect, all right, then like why are we still in this, system that's just fucking all of us? So,
Yeah.
that being said, the simplest way of saying all that is that you got to realize that the people in charge are not looking out for us.
Hmm.
And this music is just hopefully some like inspiration to speak up, if and it's like kind of the ongoing theme of Only Blue, where it's just like, you're not alone just because
Hmm.
the news makes you feel one way or the other, like you're not alone. Like, that's it.
Oh, I love, and that is so true. Like I think about that all the time. Like obviously here in New Jersey, like there's the governor race, and you ask somebody this and somebody that, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm so frustrated. I'm one of those people that's just frustrated with how we are in 2025 that like you
Hmm.
can't sit and really have a conversation because immediately sometimes you can, but some people immediately, like the keyboard warriors online, are going to be like, especially if they are on the right, they're going to say this or left. I'm like, why are there like right and left? We're just people.
Hmm.
And can't we just chat? Like, even if like, hey, I feel this way. And um, for the most part, some of my peers, most of them are like, yeah, we'll talk and, have a conversation with you. But the majority of people like just don't even try and go online because if you go online right now and you say something immediately, boom, boom, boom,
Hmm.
like it's in such a time, and I think we do need, I feel a lot of people do feel like right now we need to burn everything to the ground, just start over, be done, because it just is. I mean, I think about even like Taylor Swift, right? She just
Hmm.
released this record. Talk about that. Like right now, everybody is like dissertations, and I'm like, can we just not? Like,
Yeah.
can we just stop with that? That's
Well,
not what it's about.
on a side note, I will say big thank you to Taylor Swift because I was able to make memes about her.
Hmm.
And with like 2 followers, I was able to have like a reel that has like 70,000 views. All right.
Yeah.
So with
Wow.
right off the bat, she announced the day after I decided like I'm releasing everything,
Yeah.
she goes, I'm releasing it that day. So we're a week later. This was all
Right.
rescheduled. Like I
Hmm.
set the release date and then she was like, I'm coming out with a new album.
Right.
So, but yeah, and the problem is, like you said, like a lot of people want to burn it to the ground. The problem is, I feel like none of us really know because we all live in echo chambers. So to
Hmm.
you, you see that everyone wants to burn it down.
Yeah.
But that's your people. That's what's in
Right.
your feed, you know, and that's like,
Hmm.
so I think we have to just all see through the veil and just acknowledge that whatever we know, we don't know, if
Right.
that makes sense. It's just like whatever we see in front of us, it's all BS. And
Yeah.
AI is about to make that way harder.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other thing, right? Creating music and we have AI
Right.
at the helm. I mean, there's so many times, even like having my podcast on Spotify and Apple, YouTube, all that. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to pull it from Spotify. I'm done with this
I
AI stuff.
know.
But then I'm like, everyone's like, don't pull it. You have people over there, like, don't do it. But it's like, yeah, I can't imagine as an artist or anyone putting out music that now, okay, we have to worry about AI. And it's like, it's so creepy. It's a creepy thing. I hate it. I'm one of
Right.
those people. I know some people use it when they edit things, and that's great. I'm like, I will never be that person. I will never be using AI. I got out of like Riverside as a program a lot of people use for
Mhm.
podcasts. A lot of it's AI work, and I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
creepy. And then it says powered by AI. I'm like, I don't want that on my podcast. No, I will sit there myself and do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole Spotify thing, it's getting so that's a big point too of Only Blue. It's like this is
Yeah.
our last, I feel like we are right in the last era of being able to create bands. I mean, you
Yeah.
have all AI bands. Like if you want to be a real band, you want to be a real artist right now, you try it right now because in 10 years, like concerts
Hmm.
could be dead. Concert,
Yeah.
like, and
Right.
everyone's like, well, what about nostalgia for concerts? Well, that's all the older people. Like if you don't grow up going to concerts, you're not going to be nostalgic for concerts. So this
Hmm.
is, I feel like the last chance we all have to become something and become, just something that's heard that's actually real. I mean, and I'll admit, like ChatGPT, it's the one helping me with the plan of like what times to post on Instagram, like every
Hmm.
little thing where I went through it. It gave me a checklist of what I need to do. Not only sign up for BMI, but I also need to be a publisher on BMI. Like all these things, I just set up my trademark today on Only Blue.
Hmm.
Um, so ChatGPT can be a real help. I feel like obviously there are bands that abuse it and have them write songs for them, which is just
Yeah.
like, and when
Hmm.
every song starts using the same words, you're going to be like, oh, that's ChatGPT.
Right.
But um, like it's obsessed with the word chaos. I'm putting that out there right now.
Hmm.
ChatGPT loves the word chaos for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like that's, use it where you can, but also if you don't use AI, you're going to be left behind because not everyone else is going to use, no one else is going to stop. So what are you going to do? You're just like suffering yourself if you refuse to use it.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. It's that battle. It's
It
going
is
back and forth.
it's such a battle. Like I'll say it too. Like I've had some people when they'll pitch to come on, which is wild to think about sometimes. I'm like, well, I'm getting these emails. But like one of those things of like, um, I had somebody that like ran this company. It was like almost like an AI thing. And
Mhm.
they'll help you write songs and you don't need to be a musician. You can do this. And at first I'm reading it and I'm like, I can't support that. Because like again, like I get the game with AI and a lot of people do use it for their reels and things of that nature. But it's one of those things of like, I'm like, I don't want to support that and put that on here. That like
Mhm.
people that are hardworking musicians like yourself and like others that are out there doing it, like that's who I want to platform. And it just, yeah, you're right. Because like who knows where we're going to be at 5 to 10 years with all this stuff and what that means for music and shows and just creatives in general.
Not that I want to bring it back to Excel, but it's very
Yeah,
much part of the AI conversation and the
sure.
Spotify. I mean, the one thing I'll say is we talk about it all the time. What is the future of Excel entertainment? What is
Hmm.
the future of weddings? And
Yeah.
Spotify DJs, okay?
Hmm.
Spotify knows what you like better than you know,
Yeah.
okay? And eventually I could see pretty much every band DJ company out there just turning into an AV company. AI can't create speakers yet, and we'll just be a rental company for speakers because
Mhm.
that's what Spotify will need in order to be heard at events. So it's yeah, kind of just keeping on par with that. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, that's a good point. Like, who knows? Yeah, the Spotify DJ is kind of creepy. Like, I've tried it out a little bit just to see what it was, and yeah, I was
Mhm.
like, this is like, oh, this is not for me. No.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, like too, like it is great though to hear a band like Only Blue out because in 2025, because again, I feel like rock is like larger than life right now, all of that. You also have a video that's going to be accompanying this as well, for Rather See Red, which
Um,
again is out tomorrow for anyone listening. It'll be out by now. But so visually, it's so important to have something to accompany a song. So for
mhm.
you, what did you tap in to kind of visually have something to represent Rather See Red and Only Blue
Right.
in general?
It was shooting from the hip times like a million. Like it was just, we need something to accompany this.
Yeah.
And we just went to a studio and we did a live performance and we turned it up to 10. It was just like, let's go. So it is just a live performance video, but it came out so good. It really captured the emotion of the song. It just, the video itself has the energy. And sometimes in a live performance video, it doesn't always get that.
Hmm.
So it ends up looking like, I think a lot of it ends up looking like a concert. It's, when we start performing live, that's going to be the energy you get. So it is just a live performance video. Um, Scheduling people all to be in the same room at one time is insanity. So we definitely want to do, we are making plans for more produced videos later on. And just, more storyline and things of that sort. But yeah, so visual, I mean, this, like I said, it was just shooting from the hip and we're all just, shout out to Keith from Northvale who filmed it. So, it was just put on the best performance possible. Let's have the lighting match the emotions, and that was pretty much it. So more to come with later songs, but I'm definitely happy with it. We'll say that.
Yeah, and already you can see in like the reels you guys post, they grab you. Like they catch my attention. Like even if I wasn't
I love
following
that.
and it was going, it's like it's that's so important too. That's something I have to learn because doing this, it's like you have to like as much as I have a love-hate with social media and all that aspect, like I need it. I need this
Right.
and it sucks that I need it, but it's one of those things that it's so important. And even like something you touched on too, like when you get to play live. So that's another thing of like I know a catharsis for so many people is when you're up there with your instrument and you get to then play these songs and have a crowd there and that connection. How is that going to be to get to like play these songs live
Oh,
and
I
up
mean,
there and
yeah,
feel that?
I seriously can't wait. I mean, on stage is the only place that feels real to me. Like I'm
Yeah.
on stage and I'm like, this is the realest version of myself. I never think back and like, uh ruminate on like what did I do on stage? Did I embarrass myself? No, like I on stage I am 100% the best version of me at all times. So as far as getting to play these songs that I'm so proud of and like just ready for everyone to hear and just like, to play those live, I can't wait. The problem is that in today's world, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
You listen to interviews of anybody from, the 90s or all that, their advice is always just going to be like, play more, play more. And if you do that now, yeah, we could book 100 shows tomorrow and play for nobody. And that's what it will
Mhm.
come down to. Playing more doesn't get you more listeners anymore. It's,
Mhm.
now it's kind of reverse. Like you need listeners before you play. So it is going to be a little bit of time before Only Blue gets out there. we absolutely will because I'm just so confident in all of our abilities to put on the most awesome show. And not a show based on, lights, theatrics, gimmicks, or anything else, just pure, musicianship, energy, and connecting with the crowd. So absolutely excited to play this, frustrated with the fact that it's going to be some time just because, things need momentum before you can get out there. And that's something I need to get used to now. And, you're talking about social media. We all kind of have to retrain our brains.
Hmm.
Um, I came up with like the other day, like the thing to make a reel is you almost need to, we're trained, we grew up with you tell a story and then it climaxes at the end. And
Hmm.
now you need to put the ending first. Otherwise, nobody cares. And
Hmm.
so everything is like reversed from what we learned growing up. And the opportunity to play shows is unfortunately the same thing.
Yeah, like that's a thing too, is like making a reel or making something to just catch somebody. And especially with music. I mean, I find it hard enough on my end where I'm like, all right, I want to
Mhm.
clip this, I want to do this and find this part. But the majority of the time when you look, oh, it's like they only watched through this part or that part. And it's
I
like, all
know.
right, like why? Just spent all this. I'm like, whatever. And then I throw something stupid up and then somebody is, oh yeah, I love this. And like 1,000, likes. I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's great. And I think too, like if so when you do hopefully start playing live and getting that experience, is there anywhere you really want to take this project first to kind of really debut it?
You mean like state-wise or something like that, or
Yeah, or like a
area-wise? I
venue.
mean,
Yeah, like an area, a venue, like a specific place you were like, I think this area, it would really hit and mean a lot if we could like play here.
right. I mean, I'm just so biased to New Jersey, but
Hmm.
like New Jersey is also tough. I mean,
Yeah.
and tough and not in the sense that like people are more critical, like as crazy as it sounds, people don't like music as much in Jersey as they think they do.
Yeah.
You can go to like other parts of the country and it's just like, it's how we want it to be, where people just like go out. But like that's not how it is, which is so crazy down the shore because you have venues right on top of each other. I
Yeah.
mean, in a 1 block radius of Stone Pony, you've got like four other venues.
Yeah.
So um as far as where I wanted, I would love to play Jersey. Stone Pony is iconic, legendary, and like there's a bunch of places. It's a hard, and the Jersey's my home. I'm born and bred. So
Hmm.
it's a hard question to answer though.
Yeah.
Because would I love to play Jersey? Yes, but it's almost like sometimes people are waiting, Jersey's waiting to see what everyone else likes before they get into it.
Yeah.
Actually, I could say that about America.
Right.
America wants to see what the rest of the world likes before America's
Hmm.
allowed to like it because pretty much almost any artist, you can almost guarantee if you look at their Spotify like analytics, their biggest fans are in like Australia,
Yes.
which is crazy. So, you know what? Where do I want to go? I want to go to Australia. That's where I
There we
want to
go.
go.
There we
I
go.
want to
Go
play
to
for a bunch of kangaroos. It's going to be awesome.
the koalas. You got it set.
I'm in
That's
there.
like it's an interesting point you said about Jersey because it's so true. So like being in Illinois and I'm like I want to go to Jersey and cut my teeth because growing up listening to bands like My Chem and things like that, it's
Mm,
like this is where I want to be. And I also thought, oh,
right.
this is going to challenge me because I'm in Jersey and it's not going to be my little Midwest town. It's not going to be Chicago. It's not going to do that. And I noticed that too. Like it was very intimidating in those ways and the venues. And like I've talked to some bands too where they're like, it's not as easy to get on a show if you
Mm,
go to any of these venues. Like that's why like the Berkeley Hotel opened up and they did the outdoor space in the summer, which was awesome because those bands that could never play at some of those band or the venues, they had a chance to cut their teeth and maybe someone will hear. And I
right.
think it's one of those things too, like people don't understand like where you're from matters. So it's like I think it's really cool that like Only Blue will really get its debut in, I mean, Australia, but also Jersey, but in Jersey
Yeah.
because I think to me, I'm like again, I could hear this in any of those venues and it would just
Like,
fit. It just
awesome.
fits with all that. So it's like I'm like I can't wait to personally hopefully see it live and see it go because I
Awesome.
think hearing it, it's just there's
Mhm.
such a different element hearing a band live. Like if you've never heard of them, like say you just are like, oh, like who's this? Only Blue. Um, which I think it's so important, live music in general and that connection and everything. And I can, like I said, I can even tell from videos of watching you where I'm like, there's going to be that connection. You're that front man. Like it's
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, he's supposed to be doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like the best way to put it is like that's home, that's
Yeah.
being on stage, you know, I just never it's not like a brag thing or anything. I just never understood stage fright. It's not something like I comprehend. I just I want to connect with people and like that's the whole point too, where it's we feed off, and I could say this for any crowd, anybody going to a concert. Remember, the band feeds off of you, okay?
Hmm.
Um, the perfect example of that is, as I said, I've seen everybody. I saw Bruno Mars in concert,
Wow.
and it was in Jersey, and Jersey crowds are tough, and he was not getting the reaction that he wanted it.
Hmm.
And you could see halfway through the show, he was just phoning it in. He was doing all the dance moves, he was doing everything, looked perfect, but the look on his face was just like dead inside.
Hmm.
And on one hand, you can't blame him, but on the
Right.
other hand, maybe, it is about connecting with the audience. So I think the audience needs to remember that sometimes. And the more you're into it, the better of a show you're going to get.
Yeah.
And so my goal is to always connect to the audience as much as possible. And because it's a shared experience, it's not about me and the people on stage. It's not about them alone. It's a shared experience, all of us together. All these people that have no business being in the same room at the same time. Um, it's like, no, we're here for this one thing, and done correctly, that's beautiful. So
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, like there's so many moments I can picture where I've been, and even people I don't know. Like sometimes if I go to a show by myself and I'm like, I'm gonna go to this, I don't care if anyone else can.
Hmm.
And it's like you meet people and you have that connection where you talk, and then like they're watching the same people, and then you're in like it's just a beautiful, wonderful thing with music. And do you think like with Only Blue, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, that it gave you that outlet with some of these things you're going to be talking about in these songs that like maybe just simply writing it down wasn't enough. Like you have to have this outlet of Only Blue to get it out.
Absolutely. And I mean, like I said, this ongoing state of the world, unfortunately, that's what it's
Yeah.
like. That's what's burning in my brain. And like
Hmm.
it's how things are just changing so much. So to just like say these things in a way where I would maybe be silent in other just person to person conversations. This was like, no, I have some shit to say. And because everyone's so afraid to talk to each other now, that's the other thing too.
Hmm.
So I know there's people that agree with me. And, it's not a hard thing to agree with when you're just saying, I'm not saying, I'm saying it's all broken.
Yeah.
And pretty much everyone will agree with that. Just sometimes they're afraid to say it.
Hmm.
Um, so that you're right. Yeah, this was my outlet to say, and I'm going to keep saying these things, and I'm already writing the next batch of songs.
Yeah.
So, it does have touches of like my own personal things, like insomnia is something I deal with, and which can also lead to more thoughts about the current state of the world.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot of fun topics to touch on, but yes, it definitely is an outlet.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Like I think people are afraid to talk about these things because I think we're in such a culture of you have to be on the winning side. We're all about winning.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing. And it's like sometimes can we all just take a step? And I think that was one of the worst. I mean, I don't even know, like maybe it was like 2020 and beyond or even before that. It was like, no, you have to pick a side. And it's almost like we're in a sports like field and like, whether it's football or whatever sport you want to say, everybody is on a team and you can't say something about that team, or you can't kind of be in the middle. You have to choose. And I think it's a big problem. And like, I'll talk to my friends with that. I'm like, it's always, we have to choose some kind of side and you want to be on the winning side. And if you're not on the winning side, then, it's just,
Hmm.
it's chaos. And it's such a thing where, again, yeah, like whether it is talking about insomnia, that, yeah, you can have your thoughts. Like there's times when I'm up late at night and I'm like sitting there
Right.
scrolling. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? I'm only making like myself more upset about
Hmm.
what is going on. So I'm excited to hear more of these songs that like will touch on that because I think that's going to be really relatable to so many people. And again, maybe the people that are afraid to speak up or that are afraid to talk about these things, even with their peers, whatever, they're going to have a song for that.
Right. And Rather See Red is the oldest song that I wrote for several projects ago, which is kind of why I wanted to release it first, other than the f fact that Only Blue, Rather See Red. I mean, that was just fun
Right.
wordplay to like, this is our first release, but it's actually the oldest song that touches on it the least. But what's also really fun is when songs change their meaning over time.
Hmm.
And how I can still relate to a song that I wrote 10 years ago, but
Yeah.
it's totally changed its meaning from what it was. And the way that songs can evolve and the meaning of a song can evolve to even the songwriter, I think is awesome. And so what it means now, I mean, yes, I kind of put it out first because I wanted to get it off my plate, say like, now let's move on to the new stuff. But it definitely still relates to what's going on. I'm just saying that it's going to get even deeper into it with the following music that comes up after that.
Yeah, because that's interesting too, because I think some of us that'll hear the music, right? We're hearing it for the first time. So we think sometimes it's like, all right, this is it. But maybe it was written, like you just said, like a
Hmm.
while ago. And it's like one of those things of like, or another artist that maybe writes it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it is. But we're just hearing it and it holds new meaning for the songwriter and for us hearing it for the very first
Hmm.
time. So me hearing Rather See Red, it probably has a different feeling or emotion of like, to me, it was just like, wow, like this is kind of like just coming in and smacking you across the face. Like, here's this rock track just right here in your face,
Right.
and catching you and grabbing you. And there's like even like at a 2 minute mark where like it breaks down a little bit and then comes back up. And it's one of those things of like, for me, that's what I look for in a song. Like, is it going to keep my attention? I have a very
Right.
ADHD brain, and we lived like
Hmm.
me having ADHD. It's like you have to catch me, you have to keep me. Um, I'm that listener. So for me, that's what Rather See Red did. And I think it's going to do that a lot for a lot of people. Like a lot of people, once
Love that.
I share it and put it out, like it's one of those things like I'm going to share it tomorrow. Like as soon as it goes up, I'm like, there we
Thank you.
go, go. Because that's important too, right? And the community aspect of music is sh a simple share. Like anyone wants to help a
Right.
band out, especially a new band out, share, comment, engage. That's the world, like social media we're talking about. That's how you help new bands. That's how you help bands in general.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reintroducing myself into, I mean, I don't even know what scene we are, so I'm
Right.
sitting here just like trying to figure out where we belong in all this. I mean, just
Yeah.
like you said, I could say, yeah, we're rock, but there's like so many,
Mm-hmm.
um, subgenres of rock. So I'm trying to find that scene and just kind of finding community and like sharing with bands again because that's not what my feed really was, on Instagram and TikTok and all of that stuff. So it's fun to see like all the great talent that's out there really keeping shit alive. And yeah, can't wait to get more involved in it and go out and see some of their shows and local shows and just be part of it. I mean, that's part of not only building a band, but building a community.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need to be a whole lot more proactive if we really want to keep live music alive.
Yeah. And the community aspect is so important. Like people don't maybe necessarily, especially if they don't see live music. And I know a lot of people I'll see online, like, oh, this is my first concert. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I went, I don't know, when I was like 14 seeing these bands. And now I'm like in my 30s. And it's like, to me, it was just different where some people, maybe they didn't go to shows or they didn't do it. And it's like, it's such a community. Like when I walk into a place and it's like, oh, these are my people. I feel okay. Like, especially moving here from Illinois, not knowing anyone. But I was like, I
Mhm.
can walk in a venue and feel like, okay, I'm all right. Like, I'm cool. I got this. And there was always times like I wanted to leave Jersey because, like you said, like I was like, I don't know. I don't like it here. Like, I don't know. Like, this is not what I thought it was. And then, like, once I found music and that community and like friends, I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. I
Yeah.
belong here. And like that's the thing about like just building that community. And like I'm excited to see what community you build with Only Blue, especially with these songs that you're talking about that I feel like a lot of people will find them relatable and resonate with them for whatever reason they do. That's what's cool about music, that maybe what you wrote about, they're going to take it a different direction or apply it to their lives in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that's happened with me so many times with other people's music where it meant something to me. I find out
Yeah.
what they wrote it about had nothing to do with what it meant to me, but that didn't matter because it still got me through whatever I
Right.
did or, push me, whatever it is. So music is can change for everyone. And just like you said, you walk in, you find your people, and to me, it's like anybody there to enjoy music, that's my people. And
Hmm.
that's what it comes down to. And I always look at it as like when I see a room full of people that outside of these walls would most likely not be talking to each other, but they're
Yeah.
just enjoying that same thing. Um, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, and like so too, like even thinking about like these live shows that'll happen. Are there any bands that you're like, man, like locally, I got to play with that one. I got to pull them here with me.
Right. I unfortunately. I don't know shit about local
Yeah.
bands, and I'm trying so hard. And that I'll even like find these awesome bands like on Instagram and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, oh, you're not even in Jersey. Like you have to start digging to find out where they're from.
Right.
So like that's where, um, but sad to say, I don't know yet. Hopefully, I will know sooner than later.
But see, that's the challenge, right? Of someone starting out. I think that's important to bring up, right? Like if you don't
Mm,
really know the local scene, or you're again like much like Only Blue. I say rock, but like just like you said, I don't think I could put it in, oh, this is rock music. This is alternative music
right.
because you do hear a lot of th different things in it, and I'm sure in the other songs to come you will as well. So it's like finding that kind of balance, and I guess I didn't even think about that. I just thought, okay, someone makes a band, they create a band, they're excited to play a show. They call up so and
Mm,
so, okay, let's play a show, let's do that. Me not knowing how that all works, not realizing like what a struggle that can be for someone
right.
starting a project.
Yeah, it's the genre thing is huge because even on Spotify, like I for months and months and months and months, I kept
Yeah.
listening to the different trying to find playlists that we would belong on. And the only one I could find was the hard rock playlist as like or the modern rock playlist. And even that, every song sounds so different. So it's
Hmm.
like when you start looking at that stuff, just like I feel like all the artists, all the stuff that has an edge to it that you don't know where to put it, we're going to put it on the hard rock or modern rock playlist. Now, obviously, we know those are going to be even more clustered playlists to get on Spotify or whatever. Um, so yeah, it's just we're walking that line and traveling that journey.
Yeah, and obviously like we have like an EP on the way. We have things on the way, whatever you can talk about. Also like with that, what are you most looking forward to just having once the songs are all out together for everybody to hear. Obviously, we're going to hear the debut single tomorrow, which is amazing that
Right,
it's going to be out. But for you, what's most exciting about that? Of like, yes, we have a single, we have this, and obviously there's a lot planned. Like you said, you're already working on the next thing, which is amazing.
right.
So what are you most looking forward to that?
So most looking forward to, it's actually going to be the fourth song out. It's like that's the political climax of
Hmm.
what we're doing. It's everyone agree, and it's different from the rest of the stuff. Like the first three songs are going to be this hard rock, more in line with Rather See Red. That one gets a little more electronic, and it's like this is the one that I could see like whether you're playing a zombie video game that's in the background, whether
Right.
it's in like movie, like it's so just big, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. Pretty much anyone I play this stuff for, they're like that song. Um, so that's going to be later down the road. We were trying to build some momentum before we get to that point.
Hmm.
And then the song number five, which will be a whole nother episode for us, that's gonna
Yeah.
the song about my mom who
Yeah.
passed. Which I would you want to talk about, being cathartic and all that stuff. It took me 2 or 3 years to write that song. And
Mhm.
then one day, out of nowhere, I was just like, not ready for it, not ready for it. And then one day it was just like boom and wrote it in 20 minutes. So that's like, you know, more curious, not excited about that one, but more
Right.
curious to see where that goes, where that lands, and what happens with that. But that song number four that comes out, I would say I'm excited for that. And then hopefully excited for the prospect of playing some live shows. Once these five songs are out, I mean, I don't know if we'll play before then. If an opportunity arises and it gets thrown in our lap, we're all for it, but we're not going to start seeking stuff out for several months until, more songs are, create a clearer picture.
Right. Oh, and then also, like, I'm so sorry about your loss, even though
I
that always
appreciate it.
sounds so cliche when people say that. I've
Yeah.
had it happen to me and I hate saying it. And I'm like, here, I just said it. But I just think it's one of those things of like, I've had some people on that grief is a big thing they write about. And
Hmm.
it takes them a long time and they're not even sure if they want to. But the songwriting has helped in that process. And it's almost not closed that chapter, but almost connected them to that grief in a different way because there's a songwriting process in it. And then they have this song out, whether they put it out for other people or they just keep it to themselves. And I think
Right.
that's a big thing a lot of people on here have talked about. And I can understand because, like, when I go through grief myself, I'm not a songwriter, but I'm either journaling or I'm doing something like that for my catharsis. So yeah, I can only imagine how powerful putting pen to paper for something like that is.
it finally, it definitely gave, I don't know if closure is the right word, but it helped
Mhm.
me, move forward. All right.
Yeah.
Um, I will say, if you're in the club,
Hmm.
you know if you know. And
Yes.
as far as being cliche on, what to say to people, it was only after that experience that I learned the best thing to say to somebody is, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I know it sucks. And that's about it. Like, don't try to, oh, anything you need, because we all know that's an empty saying.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
it's, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Like, it means nothing. All right.
Yes.
It's when someone just says, dude, it sucks. Sorry, man. It's the fucking worst. It's like, okay, that's it. There's nothing else to be said. So, yeah, I don't know how I got off on that whole
Mm.
thing, but I guess
No.
that's some advice for your audience.
No, but that's so
Of,
important because my thing is anytime like I lost my dad. So I didn't lose my mom, I lost my dad. And it was one of those things,
mm,
so many people, let me know if you need anything. And again, that falls on deaf ears. And it's important for people to hear that and that
right.
how to be there for people. Like that's mental health there too, is like how to be there for someone grieving and understanding that they kind of have to take the lead
Mm,
and just show up. Like I'm like nowadays, I'm like, I learned in that experience of just showing up. Don't ask, here's a meal, here's this. What do people not do?
yeah.
Just show up for your people. Or even if they're not your people, you just know someone's going through a difficult time and that just don't. I'm like, and again, I'm not like going to bash religion or anything or whatever. It's like, we'll pray for you. That's really great if that's your thing. That's wonderful. But like
Mhm.
understand that's not for everybody and like how we
Right.
deal and help people. It's not easy and just be there for people.
100%. And again, music is like the all around, who isn't helped by music,
Right.
And that's, yeah. So that's, like you said, just show up and say, like, hey, like, let's go out for a drink, let's go to a concert, let's do whatever. And
Hmm.
just that, you don't even need to talk about it because that
Right.
will help
Yes. Yeah.
get them
Oh,
out of
yeah.
their own head and, have some other noise fill your head for the next 2, 3 hours and then go back to being depressed
Right.
afterwards.
Exactly. Right. We all been there. Like, yeah, maybe put
Yeah.
on, maybe put on Only Blue if you're listening to this. Put on Only Blue and you'll be good to go. But
Yeah.
um, so obviously too, to kind of wrap this up a little bit, we have
Yeah.
obviously the EP, the songs, Rather See Red out. Are there any final thoughts on this eve of before Rather See Red is out for all of us?
Excited and curiosity. Like
Hmm.
that's like I am stoked to play this song for people and just to see and knowing that this is just the beginning of this project. This is
Yeah.
not like, last ditch effort. It's like, no, this is just the beginning. So even if it gets 50 listens on Spotify, whatever it is, like it's just the beginning and curiosity out of like, let's play the game. And whatever the game is today, like what is going to get people to listen to this? What's going to bring people in? Um, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
and nobody knows today. And sometimes
No.
things just like pop off. But this is the first time where I have the utmost confidence. Like any project in the past, I always held back a little bit. And maybe it was because it was my name on it that I
Hmm.
was just like, oh, you're a little afraid of judgment or this and that. And that's why I wanted to position this more as a band. But not only is it easier to, to just put something else out there that's not your own personal name. I fucking believe in this music and it's just fun. I mean, and we're gonna have so much fun playing it live. So that's my final thoughts. Excitement and curiosity, and let's see what happens.
And that's the thing too. Like that's one of those things that it is exciting right now. And I hear it and I'm just like, yeah, like you're debuting this. This is your debut. And what a debut to
Right,
put
right,
out there. We're like, I'm not going to dig on any of my friends. I love them so much. I love their music. But you hear their debuts. And again, it's like, it's good. That's great. And, music is music. And I loved that too. I've supported them like crazy. But like, yeah, like for this to be your debut, it can only go up from here. And I'm excited to see what happens with this and
It's the
where it goes.
culmination. Yeah, thank
Hmm.
you. I mean, it's the culmination of just all these years of experience where it's
Sure.
like I've been burned by so many producers and like this time, and that's like my advice for other people is like, wait till you're fucking proud of it. And now I don't mean that as in procrastinate. Don't like
Right.
overthink. Sometimes you just got to put the shit out there. So it's definitely, don't procrastinate because that's like that will kill your dreams essentially. But as far as like you know, don't be afraid to speak up. If you're working with a producer and you're like, I don't know about that, my instinct in the past was always just like, well, you're the professional.
Right.
And that can definitely burn you as it did me over and over again. So yes, it's a debut, it's a premiere, but I don't even, it's like to me, it's the debut of this project. And this
Hmm.
is now the chance for me, for people to see like what I'm proud of. But definitely not the debut as a musician.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Right.
so you know what you're saying. It's almost hard for me to connect with that. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the first time people are hearing this because
Right.
I've just been doing this for so long. So yeah, it's exciting. And like for other younger musicians on the come up, like there's people out there. And I'm not saying you have to go out and spend $1 million. Like there's people who want to just create with you that are the most amazingly talented people alive. You just got to go out and find
Yeah. And I see so many people that come on here and they say that once they find their people and the
them.
producer that they work with, and once you find someone that sees you and who you are and what you're doing, and yeah, because the industry in general, I mean, that could be a whole other podcast about
Yeah,
like what I hear, even on my end, the people I deal with in the industry, I'm just like, yeah, no, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go there and go on a rant about the
right.
music industry. We all know, but is this again? Find your people, find your community, and
Yeah.
I think you hear that in music that is put out when people are working with people that get them and that understand
Mhm.
what they're trying to do, and it just makes a whole better song. But again, I am so excited about this and to put this
Yes.
one out. I'm going to get it out Tuesday, so that way it is out
Okay.
in enough
Awesome.
time, all that stuff.
Awesome. Well, it was such a pleasure speaking with you. This has been a lot of fun. So I
Yes.